Hello friends, welcome to today's session. Let's start today's session with a beautiful quote. It says, if you can change your mind, you can change your life. Speaks volume about the importance of mind in our life. What you think you can become, right? So in today's session, we are going to discuss about the advanced pivot table. In the last video, I have given you an introduction to pivot table where we used it for summarizing a data, analyzing, and also deriving insight from the table. We are going to take this understanding to the next level in today's video, right? I hope you all excited to know more about pivot table. It is going to be an advanced pivot table wherein you are going to see more features, like we are going to use groups, right, in order to make this pivot table more attractive. So let's start with a basic thing. Let's start with the basic thing. Right? What are we going to do? We are going to just select the entire data, insert pivot table, okay, and then we are going to say gender, right? Count of gender. Now it can be anything. You can select count of gender, or you can select the department count. Because line items, it is going to count. It can be any variable. So I have selected gender. Let's say, and then I have given count of gender in the rows. Now, if I want to sort this data, okay, if I want to keep the variable, in this case is an attribute which has more count line items. So I'm just selecting. Let's say I'm selecting sort. Let's say start with sort. So it has come on the top 215 for male and 168 for female. Now we can able to sort this data like this. Now we are going to use an advanced features now to make it more presentable. So what are we going to do is we are going to say uh, date of joining. We are going to bring it here instead of gender, right? We are going to bring the date column. Yeah, let's come like this. So date, count of gender or count of date, doesn't matter. So basically we got the date wise the count of line items, right? Now if I want to present a report, let's say I want to present a report which I want to present it on a yearly wise, monthly wise, or let's say yearly wise, quarterly wise, monthly wise. What is the count of employees who have joined in the organization? Because this is an employee database basically. So what I can do is I have the date with me, but I don't have the quarterly details. I don't have which year it represents, right? So what I have is I have the date. So you can bring the date into the row column, and then you can bring the any field. It can be count of gender, or it can be any field to the to the values, which basically it counts the line item. Then right click here, say group. What happens here when you select this one? It comes like this. Right click here, group, it comes like this. So you can select, now you can select year wise, quarterly wise, month wise. You okay, your data will be presented year, quarterly wise, month wise. Earlier it was only date, because our data set has only date. What we have done here is we have created a pivot table, right? And we made it as what? A report which has quarterly, yearly, and monthly. So right click here and make it as pivot table options, display classic pivot table. The reason being, we want to show it in a more uh, uh, better way. I would say that to make it more better way, we are just using a classic pivot table. Otherwise, looks very odd. Here you can see that the totals are coming at the top. So I'm giving like this. Now you can able to see, right? The year is there, and then you have quarter and you have month, and then against each month what is the count, the number of people who have joined. It wasn't possible earlier because we had only the date. What we did, we used group function in Excel, basically a pivot table grouping, right? We did grouping of this particular data set. Now if I this we also call it as a drilling down the data, because what we have done here is you just drill down the data, which means that this data has 2005 and it also drill down to quarterly wise, it also drill down to monthly wise. If I want to, you know, show it, or let's say if I want to roll up this data, all I have to do is this minus symbols, I have to make it as plus. If I just make it as a plus, it becomes rolling up of the data because data now has been rolled up. If I want to dig deep and want to see month wise, I have to click plus symbol, which is drilling down. I hope you understood. Similarly, I can roll up year by also, year also, like this. I can roll it up. These are called rolling up the data. You have rolled up the data and you got the total counts for each. If you want to show month quarterly wise, we can drill down the data like this, right? We can do it like this. Now, similarly, we have another option also. Yeah, now we have presented it year wise, quarterly wise, month wise data. Now, we can also do one more thing. In case if you want to show it in a highest value, highest performing month to the lowest, right? So what you can do is right click here, sort the data, sort largest to smallest. So you know, in the first quarter 2005, February, Feb, the number of employees joined more. In the month of February, you have more number of employees joined in. So you can see 6 towards that, right? And then later, this basically gives an idea to us that how many employees joined which month. So we can see the sorting of this data also. It is possible here, right? Now, we have seen how to use a grouping thing. Now, we can also do a frequency distribution using this option. Let's see how we can do it. So let us create insert pivot table. Okay. Now I'm just selecting the compensation of every employee, count of compensation. So what I got, let's change this into sum of compensation into count. So what did I got here? Against each salary, how many people have joined? Now these are variables, like it is not fixed. It is not given in a range. So basically, if you present a report, you cannot give individual salary detail. What we can give is we can group it saying that, let's say, highest value. What is the highest value in this data set? We have a highest value is the 69,994 is the maximum value in this data set. Then we have 30,206, right? So what we can do is we can create an interval. Let's say 30,000 to 40,000. How many employees, you know, comes in? Like what is the number of count of employees who are within the range of with the salary within the range of 30,000 to 40,000. 40,000 to 50, like this we can able to group it, right, with an interval. Now that can also be possible, you know, if you could right click here, group, and say the minimum is 30,000 and then the maximum is 70,000. Interval which you are going to group is 10,000, or let's say you can give the interval as 5,000. Choice is yours, right? Now, sorry, not 5,000 or 10,000. So now you can see the report, final report. Instead of, you know, having the count based on every single salary, what I did here is I just created a group saying that between 30,000 to 84,999, I have 56 employees. I can even have a sort of this data. I can sort it and give percentage also if I want. Sort or show value percentage of the row total, column total. So I know exactly the contribution for each range, right? The highest salaries which are paid, you know, comes to 9.66 out of overall salary we are paying to the employees. So it gives an insight to me where I have to focus. That is possible. This interval you can able to create through grouping. This is again a frequency distribution type with a range, okay, with an interval, equal interval. I have created this particular thing using a group option. Similarly, you can also have another type of grouping also in Excel. Like let's say I have a department based ratings. Now, in this case, rating is nothing but the employee rating. Now, I want to show each employee department wise. What is their average rating? Because rating you cannot sum. So what I can do is, see, instead of going insert this time, I'm going to use a shortcut for this one, which is Alt D P, which is pivot table. Alt D P, enter, enter. Okay, or you can give another enter also, but in this case we already created a pivot table, so I'm giving no. But if you are creating for the first time, you can give three enters, so it will give you the layout to you like this. Once you get that thing, all we can do is we can just put department wise the rating, right? So this has no meaning unless this rating is changed into what? We can change this into sum of rating, value field settings, average rating. So you know exactly which department, what's the rating. You can use, you can increase the decimal. So see which department you can sort the data, largest to smallest. You know which department is performing well in terms of the review rating. You know that accounting department is far better in comparison to other department, which has 3.5 rating score, right? Now, can I group this also? Can I group it? Yes, if you can have a broad terms, right? If you want to group departments into different categories, like support functions, or let's say marketing and sales and marketing as one department, you can still do it like this. What you can do is you can just select those departments. Let's say in this case, I'm taking tech support, customer service. Just use control and select tech support, customer service, customer relation, right click, group. Yeah, just you have to select tech support, customer service, and customer relation. Now what happened? These all come under one group, which this group can be called as support function. Right. Similarly, you can have advertising, media relation, right? And you can say public relation. You have to press control key, public relation, and sales and marketing. Okay. Media relation, yes. So that can be grouped into one category. That category we can call it as sales and marketing. Sales, marketing and communication. We can call this as a marketing and communication. Right. Now, similarly, accounting, right, and say asset management, finance, payroll under one category. Let's rename it later. Similarly, we have human resources and legal under one, and quality assurance, this as one. Now, these groups can be named. Let's say this is finance, accounting and finance, right? And then let's keep this as a, you can just type it, but HR and legal. This one can be called as, or QA, the RD you can mention first. Now, once you have done this one, you can right click here, pivot table options, display, classic pivot table. So what is the Josh in this? See, instead of you have certain departments which can be combined together into one for our analysis purpose. Now, whenever you add a new data into this sheet, all you have to do is you have to refresh the data. You don't need to classify manually in a reporting, because what happens sometimes we generally have a dashboard and another Excel sheet, and we will class use that particular sheet for any kind of classifications. This data will give you individual department wise, and we take those data into the new sheet where we again group it and classify it. That can be reduced if you know how to do a grouping within the working sheet itself. That is what we have learned here, right? I hope you understood the concept of grouping, an advanced option within the pivot table. Thank you very much.